Hey guys, all right, today we're going to talk about application. How do you put Color Street on? It's one of my most favorite things to teach people about. So I'm just so excited. Okay, so the first things I want to tell you is that you want to make sure that your nails are trimmed and filed the way that you like them. Also, I'm going to give a recommendation here, and until Mr. Park and his wonderful team makes our very own cuticle remover, I have to recommend this one to you for now because it's been working. Okay, so this stuff is instant cuticle remover. I found it at Walgreens. I'm sure any other type of store like Walgreens may have it, but look for this in the nail care aisle. Ultimately, what you do is you will put it along your cuticles. I think it says to keep it on there about 15 seconds and kind of start to push back your cuticle, and it melts away the little layer there, and it just works perfectly. So you don't have to like go to a salon to get your cuticles trimmed or whatever, because you're not supposed to do that. That's actually not very healthy for you. Just FYI. So anyway, so you want to make sure your cuticles are pushed back. I have a little stick, orange stick, I think is what this is called, or there's rubber cuticle pushers that you can use, but to simply just push it back to make sure that your cuticles are not overgrown on your nails. All right, so here we go. How this works. So when you have a package of Color Street, and when you open it up, you will see there are instructions. There is a video that you can even watch from our home office team. It's going to have a alcohol prep pad and a nail file, and then your nail polish strip. So this is the set I have decided to do today. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull out one of my little files, but you can use you can use one of those that comes in your package. So the first tip that I want to share with you is that you want to make sure that you are ready to do your nails when you open this package, okay? It is 100% nail polish, so over time, these strips will dry out. Again, nail polish. So as they're exposed to air, they will dry out. Now, am I saying it's going to happen immediately? No way. But just over time, several days, week, whatever, they're going to dry out. So the first thing that I do is separate my strips. So here you have 2 sheets of 8. I separate my strips, and then I want to measure. So that is the first step to do. So here we go. Okay. Now I have done this a few times, so I kind of have an idea of which ones work for me, but I want to point out here that the side near the silver tab is wider than this side over here. So this is more narrow, this is more wide. Typically, what I do is with the backing on, give it a little fold and lay it over my fingernail to know, okay, is the narrow side going to completely cover, or do I need to flip it and use the side with the silver tab? So once you go through your nails and find your best fit, you're going to lay them out in front of you, 5 and 5, or your pinkies and whatever, okay? So again, just kind of eyeball it, measure it. It is okay to over cover on your finger. I will tell you exactly how to remove the extra. So that is definitely an option. If you're finding one is not totally covering, go ahead and over cover. I'll share with you how to fix that. So again, just going through and, all right. I pretty much know which ones are needed for my own fingers, but again, I do recommend measuring first. Okay, so then the other thing that's super important is making sure that you wipe your fingernails. So you can use the alcohol prep pad. Some people choose to use dish soap that does not contain any lotions, oils, anything like that. But ultimately, you just want to make sure that your fingernails are nice and clean and ready to lay the nail polish strips on. But of course, Color Street recommends using the nail prep pad that comes in it. There we go. Okay, So a couple techniques, and this is what I really love to share with people. So first, you're going to remove your little clear cover, and then you are going to separate the silver tab and the white backing. And this right there is the nail polish, and this is your white backing. The technique that I teach people is to go ahead and lay it back down to tee it. So that way, see, like a thing. Okay, so what you can do is this gives you a little bit more stability to hold it, but I also want to encourage you not to be scared to actually put your fingers on the back, the sticky part of the polish, because you want control over it. Over the years, I've learned that some people try to lay it down like this, and that's not going to work. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, that's not going to work. If you have done that in the past and it works for you, you're like a 1 in a million person, and that's amazing, but it does not work. What did I just do here? I removed my silver tab. So as you can see, I lowered it down a little bit, and then I gently gave a tug to the silver tab to remove that end, because that actually is the end that I'm going to use on my own finger. So here, again, tee it. And then you're going to lay it down right above your cuticle line. So I like to work from the side of my nail, push it over, and this way it's just, I'm able to eyeball it better this way. But again, you'll find what works best for you. So once I stick it down on my nail, I'm going to give it a little push and I smooth it down just like that. Okay, now here's something I'm going to show you. So you can use your nail to push it underneath your fingernail. And what it does is going to wrap around the tip of your nail and perforate, and you're able to pull it away. So I do have a little bit of extra here, and what I do with my extra is I actually do my toenails with it. So I'm going to save it and do my toes. So here I do have a little extra on my skin to the side. I'm going to leave it for now, but what I like to do is give a little push there, so that way it's going to make a little crease, and it makes it easier to remove when I'm all finished. Okay, so moving on to my next. Typically, I go from pinky to pinky and then ring to ring, so I alternate back and forth. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to stick with one hand for right now. So again, taking it off, teeing it back down, and then holding it. On this side, I'm not using the silver tab side, and I'm just going to go ahead and push it straight across like that. Okay, so here then I'm removing the extra, and you just want to make sure you're creasing it around the sides of your nails and making sure that you have nice coverage, just like this. And so now I'm just going to show you another technique of removal. So you can pinch your extra if you would like, and then take your nail file and go in a downward motion. Just like this. No seesawing back and forth, just one downward motion works just fine. And what that will do is help perforate again at the edge of your nail, and you can remove the extra polish like that. Isn't that so fun? Oh my goodness, I love it. All right, again, we're gonna go ahead, and this time I'm going to show you just a different technique because I know that some people have different ways of holding it. So here, what I'm gonna do is just basically peel the top here and start to peel my backing. And I'm going to gently, again, tug that little piece off. And so here I did not take the full back off, but I just folded it over. So here's my nail polish, and then here's my backing. And I am going to set it down just like that. And then start to pull it forward. Easy, right? So I will be honest, the very first time that you apply your nail polish strips, it might be a little challenging, and that's okay because you're learning. Um, Everyone that tells me, "Oh my gosh, Leah, the first time took me forever," or I was like getting a little frustrated. That is okay. The second time is so much better because you actually know what you're doing. So have a little bit of patience with yourself. Don't be scared. There's an extra like amount in the package just in case you mess up. So just know that the first time is a learning experience, the second time goes way faster and way better for you. The first time I did it, it took me an hour, which then after that it was way less than an hour. Now I can do my nails typically in like 10 minutes. Of course, here I'm chatting, but 10 minutes and I can do it in a moving vehicle. So it's just the most amazing thing ever. Okay, so here again, now this technique I'm going to show you is just simply holding it. So I took the backing off. I'm holding it. Don't worry about holding it. You are not going to like remove any of the stickiness of it. Not at all. No. Okay, so now with this one, I'm just going to use my thumbnail. So one quick thing is very important to share is that I typically do my thumb last because that tends to be my tool. So when I'm doing my thumbnails last, that gives me the ability to use my nail to go ahead and push that extra that I don't need under my nail and then break it away. So again, using that last and okay. So I'm gonna stop here for now and show you when I'm done. What I typically do is, again, with the extra that's on my skin, I push my skin back and forth. If your nails are long enough, you can push along there, and just go ahead and gently push to perforate the nail polish. That works. If you have one of these little stick thingies too, that can work for you. But then what you're basically doing is just peeling the extra away off of your skin. Okay. And then, oh, I got another spot there. But then when you're all done, you're going to come back through and you're just, again, gently in a downward motion, just file the edges of your nails or the tips of your nails. And that way you're going to get the extra that is there off. Right. Last little tip to share with you is that if you set it on your cuticle, and it happens from time to time, as your nails start to grow out, you might run your fingers through your hair and maybe feel it catch or something. Well, here is a tip for you that I learned, and it's dip a Q-tip in some remover, some nail polish remover, and go ahead and gently rub it along that edge and push it back down. All right, guys, I hope these tips were wonderful for you and that you learned something. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I love answering any questions. All right, bye.